Good morning, Miami. Welcome to the Connect Show, South Florida, where we bring you some of the most inspiring women to help elevate your brand and lifestyle. Unfortunately, my co host Stitches is out today. We miss her so much. She's in New York City. But don't fret, we have the lovely and successful estate attorney and co founder of Flourish Law Group, Lauren Klein, back as a co host today. So, welcome to the show, Lauren.
Thank you, Sandy. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, it's so great to have you. I want to dive right in and ask you, what have you been up to since you were last here?
Oh my gosh. So the firm is growing. We hired a new team member, which is so exciting. We have some really cool events coming up and we'll be shouting out one of those today in the show. And also, just on a personal note, we're booking some travel. We have our little one just turned 1, so we're booking Denmark and Disney World. So we're excited.
Oh my gosh, that's so much fun. We try and go also this time of year. Well, in South Florida, once it gets a little cooler, it's just the perfect time to go.
Yes, I know. And it's food and wine. So we're excited for that too.
Oh, that'll be amazing. I love it.
Yes.
Well, I
Yes.
want to get into it. I want to talk about estate planning. So, can you give us a few quick tips?
Absolutely. So, a couple quick tips. Number one, we're going to talk a little bit about this today, the common misconceptions. But one of the biggest tips is you are really never too young to start planning as long as you're an adult. So, as soon as you're an adult, it is so important to start thinking about making sure that you have documents in place. If something happens to you, protecting yourself, so important. That's one of the biggest tips. And then honestly, another big tip is, and at Flourish Law Group, we're really big on this, taking the fear out of talking about estate planning and making it just a normal part of life. Like we talk about money. And I think as a society, we're getting more comfortable talking about money. And I think going hand in hand with that is talking about estate planning.
Hold on, I have someone that wants to say hi real quick. Come here, Jordy. Come here. Can you say hi to everybody this morning? Look, this is my little one who loves Disney. Say good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay. So, Lauren, can you share with us, why is it so scary in your opinion?
Sandy, I mean, I think it's because, when you're talking about estate planning, you're talking about something potentially happening to you. Either you're passing away or you're becoming incapacitated. Those things are inherently scary, but they're also very empowering when you make decisions proactively for your family, for your business, for your assets. I always tell clients, you will feel so good and so empowered when you finish the process.
Yeah. So, I mean, these are really big and important decisions. So, how do we find the right estate planner and what do we want to look for?
It's really important to work with an attorney who focuses specifically on estate planning. You don't want to go to someone who's like, I do wills and trusts, but I also do DUIs and I also do, contracts. You want someone who really focuses in on this area because it can be very complicated. There can be a lot of pitfalls. So going to the right experienced estate planning attorney can help them pinpoint what you need to be focusing on, ask you the right questions, and that way you can feel confident that you're going to someone who really knows what they're talking about. When you're talking about your kids, your assets, the most important things in your life.
Yeah. So, can you tell us a little bit more about what goes into the planning? Like maybe what goes into the planning process, and do you need millions, or how can this help everybody?
Number one, you do not need millions. If you're 18 and over, you need something. Everyone needs something in place, whether it's just a power of attorney, naming someone to make financial decisions on your behalf, or naming someone to make healthcare decisions on your behalf. It's so important. Then as you grow, as you obtain assets, as you get married, as you buy a home, as you had kids, then your estate planning gets a little more, not complicated, but more in depth. You start thinking about who would be the guardian for my children if something happened to me, who would inherit my home, who's going to get my business when something happens, do I need a buy-sell agreement? So as life evolves, you want to evolve with your estate planning attorney, and they can really guide you in the right direction as to what you need. And it really should be an ongoing relationship, not a one and done kind of thing.
Yeah. So I know that we have a lot of women in business that tune into the show. So I want to talk about that for a moment in terms of what about business owners? Is it that, you how does the process look if maybe they pass down the business? What about the company accounts? Is the process different for entrepreneurs? Can you speak a little bit to that?
Absolutely. So it really is even more important when you have a woman in business to get the estate planning in place, making sure that those assets that we're working so hard for are protected. So not only making sure you have guardians named for your minor children, but making sure that your business is not going to go through probate. It's not going to have to, the assets aren't going to be frozen and have to go before a judge. Or thinking about things like putting that business in a trust so you can protect those assets for your children from taxes and creditors and other ways that are really great to build generational wealth for our children who we hope to pass these amazing businesses down to. And then also just making sure, like I said earlier, a buy-sell agreement. If you pass away and your business goes to someone who maybe isn't the perfect fit for running your business, you want to make sure you avoid things like that. So it's really just proactive planning and making sure that you're thinking about these things, even if they're a little scary to think about.
Yeah. And I think that this is great that you're shedding light on this, because although we don't want to think about it, it's better to have a plan in place than not have one at all. So I love that we're talking about this. And final question for you. How can choosing the right estate attorney help women elevate? And how do we work with you and your firm? Because you are so knowledgeable in this, and we just want to know how we work with you.
Oh, absolutely. So we work in Florida only. So we are Florida licensed attorneys, myself and my partner, Kristen Landon. You can always go to our website, flourishlawgroup.com, and you can book an appointment with us. You can follow us on Instagram. I'm lawyer Lauren Klein, or you can follow Flourish Law Group. And we're also active on LinkedIn as well. And I think it's just so important, whether you work with us or with someone else, to sit down and just have that conversation with an estate planning attorney, get the conversation rolling. And that way you can start to think about how you protect your family. Our tagline is exceptional estate planning to help your family flourish at all stages of life. And the reason we have that tagline is it's true. As you grow, your estate planner will grow with you too. And you don't need millions. You really, really don't. Yes, if you have millions, it's important. But honestly, as soon as you become an adult, but as soon as you really start getting assets and have children, avoiding probate and making sure a judge doesn't get to decide who takes custody of your kids if something happens is, as a parent, I mean, that's the biggest thing I can think of, honestly. Besides making sure, all the other things like they're eating healthy and sleeping enough. And
so many things to think about. But that's why we're coming to you. This is so good. Thank you so much. And you're going to be with us all half hour. I'm so excited. So don't move anywhere, Miami. When we come back, we will be joined by your tax coach, Barbara Sheehan, here to coach us on some tax tips that could save you big time. It's all about your money today, Miami. Don't go anywhere.